Hi, good Thursday and welcome back. Glad as always to have you with us this time around on the 21st day of April, where clouds and a little sun as well, more clouds though, have been pretty much the dominant factor today in our weather. That's out ahead of some showers, hit and miss for the next couple of days, and that will be ahead of what's still shaping up to be a beautiful weekend. Your weather forecast in more detail in just a few moments. Headlines tonight will include coverage of the Paintsville City Council meeting this week. Also, a fugitive from justice apprehended in Johnson County this week. The Kayak Bass Series says that an angler has been cheating in multiple tournaments. He's a Floyd County native who's been racking up thousands of dollars in earnings and winnings here as of late. We'll relay that information to you as well. A reminder about some very special folks who are coming back to Magafa County and Skaggs for a little visit this Saturday. They hope that a lot of you will join them for just a few moments. And we have had reports of shoplifters in this program throughout the years, many and in many different forms. Tonight will be unlike any other shoplifting story we have covered on this program. Also highlights from last night's round 2 back-to-back games between the Hornets and the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. This one was at home for the Hornets last night, and other baseball and softball scores. It's a full show. Let's go ahead and get to it. And we'll begin with brief coverage, as it was a brief session of the Paintsville City Council just earlier this week. One of the early discussions centered around the 911 fees, a discussion and update following previous informations and revelations before the City Council and Mayor that the 911 program is losing some $90,000 to $100,000 a year.
You're aware that we've sent an email to fiscal court to the judge, and I have not gotten a response on that. For your information, the legislature passed a bill increasing our funding for 911 through cell phone fees, and the effect on this should be about $49,000 annually increase. As you saw from the email, that will still leave us somewhat short. We would like to increase the landline fee. I don't see any reason to do that until we find out what the fiscal court's willing to do, though. I know that there has been some questions coming from one or two of the fiscal court members concerning that, and hopefully we'll get something lined out on that by the May meeting.
How long will it be before we start seeing an increase in it? A while on it. It won't be real fast.
Good question. It'll be about a year.
That's why I said it won't be real fast. But,
yeah, it doesn't go into effect actually until February of next year, I believe.
Okay.
In other business, Code Enforcement Officer Bob Stewart updated the council on the latest efforts to deal with abandoned, dangerous, and unsightly properties within the Paintsville area. In his report, he outlined discussions with several different property owners who had either responded by saying that they were intent on selling that property. Some had already made efforts to clean and maintain property. Some were in the process of hiring individuals to tear down their respective property. And a representative of Speedway was said to be responding to the Paintsville area to address the situation with the property they own. Lastly, the council voted to surplus a 2005 garbage truck and a 2003 Crown Victoria from the police department with 180,000 miles on the clock. They also agreed to advertise for bids for a new police cruiser to be purchased with the next city budget. In a related matter, court documents filed just this week refer to a motion for continuance requested on behalf of Euless Crace, a co-defendant in the case against Mayor Bob Porter. And there's been a ruling issued on that continuance requested through Crace's attorney, saying that he didn't have enough time to review discovery and prepare for trial, and that Mr. Crace also needed to be evaluated by a physician to determine if he was mentally competent and physically capable to stand trial. The motion for continuance has been granted, and as a result, the pretrial conference that was originally slated for May the 5th has been now bumped up to June the 16th, and the trial, which was originally slated for May the 16th, has been bumped up to July the 12th. We'll keep you up to date. On the evening of Tuesday of this week, the Johnson County Sheriff's Department says that their deputy, Byron Fairchild, executed a traffic stop on a vehicle in the Thelma community, initially observing the driver for not wearing a seatbelt. However, upon stopping that vehicle and interviewing the driver, the deputy realized something was amiss, and before it was all over, he had taken a fugitive of justice into custody. After making the traffic stop, Deputy Fairchild wrote in his report that he'd questioned the driver about his driver's license. The driver said that he had lost it, not all that uncommon, and the driver gave Fairchild a name and a date of birth. But the date of birth didn't really match the appearance of the driver, who looked considerably older. And also, the driver didn't know any other personal information, as his own social security number or basically anything else. So after investigating a bit more and questioning the driver's age, it was finally determined by Fairchild that he had given him a false name and date of birth, and his true identity was later determined to be that of Gary Wesley Butcher, a fugitive from Jefferson County, who was serving a lengthy sentence for manufacturing methamphetamine and other drug-related charges, and was not due to be released, says Fairchild, until 2023. But he had walked away from a halfway house in Jefferson County sometime early last year and had been sought by authorities since. So Fairchild took him into custody, charged him with driving on a DUI suspended license, giving a false name and address to authorities, failure to wear a seatbelt, and failure to produce an insurance card, and he was also served with the warrant for escape in the second degree. He still remained lodged in the Big Sandy Jail at last report. When we come back, details in a report about how a Prestonsburg man allegedly cheated his way into thousands of dollars of bass fishing tournament winnings. I'll be right back. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. North Carolina Sportsman and some other publications that I have found today have been detailing events surrounding a kayak bass angler who was allegedly caught cheating in multiple tournaments, and how he is from the Prestonsburg area. They say the world of kayak bass fishing tournaments was stunned this week when tournament directors and organizers for not one but two major tournament trails, being kayak bass fishing and the kayak bass series, revealed that one of their competitors, who had been winning quite a bit most recently in the kayak bass series, taking home $3,000, but had been identified as submitting falsified photograph entries during one of their tournaments. If you're like me, you might not have a great understanding of kayak bass fishing. Well, unlike most bass tournaments where you weigh in afterwards, in which boats have a live well, kayak bass competitions rely on photographs of fish that are caught to determine the total length of a specified number of fish rather than their weight. The fish has to be photographed lying on a specific measuring board with an identifier for the tournament visible in the photo. And following the completion of the Kayak Bass Series North Open event that was held on the second day of this month on Del Hollow, Andrew Shepard of Prestonsburg was pulled from the competition by tournament directors after a review of his photographs. It was upon notice of them and request by some other competitors to take a second look that directors found some inconsistencies in the way the fish were viewed on the measuring board. KBS tournament director Andrew Cameron on his Facebook page and elsewhere wrote that, quote, while I was writing a recap for the event, he says he was going through the winners' photos. Finally, and literally at the same time, he says, I realized I was also getting messages from numerous individuals throughout the kayak fishing community asking me to take a second look at Andrew Shepard's submissions. He altered the measuring devices used on his fish. He cut out a section of each one. What you're looking at here is kind of an overlay just that they have put together for illustration purposes, and I'll show you a different picture in just a second as to what it actually should be. To the left, you can see where the board of his actually began, and they've actually placed the white board over top of it, and there you can see a difference. That's just there for effect. But actually, he had three different boards. One that was correct, they say, one that he cut 2 inches out of and put back together, and one that he had taken 4 inches out of. giving the illusion that some fish were 4 inches larger than they actually were. And according to the report, after the discovery at the Del Hollow event, tournament directors for both the KBF and KBS and its affiliates reviewed photographs from previous tournaments that Shepard had entered and discovered that he'd done this before. They say that he had apparently perfected his methods at local levels and then decided to try it at a bigger tournament. Working in conjunction with both the KBS and the KBF staff, they discovered that it appeared that he had cheated over a dozen local and now national tournaments. Shepard, who this report says was unavailable for comment on the matter at the time, has effectively been banned from any KBS or KBF affiliated programs, and according to the tournament directors, they are pursuing options for prosecuting him as well. Under local Kentucky law, criminal charges can be brought in fraud cases exceeding $1,000. You can see for that one tournament, he was holding a check for $3,000. They also have been making efforts to contact the actual winners and make it all right. And they're also doing a follow-up, most likely mid-next week, for a full recap of all the events that Shepard has been in and won or placed by cheating in this manner. A few days ago, I did an interview with Dave Campbell of the Dayton Group, in which he was putting out an invitation for anyone who's been involved with, on any level, the Dayton Group to come down to the Ramey Park this Saturday and share some stories with them. They're compiling them and putting them all together in honor of their 50th anniversary. And this is a reminder tonight, a brief one, for you to do the same.
I'm down for a summer, and we get to meet so many incredible people that at the end of the summer, most people's lives are the same, except for those students who return home with a wealth of new friendships and relationships and new experiences that they'll carry with them the rest of their lives.
In lieu of their upcoming 50th anniversary in Appalachia this summer, the University of Dayton started putting together a remembrance, if you will, last year. Now, ahead of their 50th return to Eastern Kentucky, they're hoping to hear from you, and they're going to be here early, hoping that as many of our local folks as possible will come to the Ramey Park for just a few minutes and share some memories to be included in their 50th anniversary presentation.
We're going to do a reunion on the weekend of July 16th, this upcoming summer. And we said, we really would love to hear from people who have participated in the programs from down in Syersville, because we've only got one side of the story with the students. And so on Saturday, we're going to be at the park from 1 to 3, and we would love for anybody who's ever participated in any way, shape, or form with the Dayton Group, whether it was just in, Dayton Group visiting them, or whether they were part of the programs as a child, or whether they've had kids that have gone to the programs, to come down to the park. And we're going to do a brief little interview and just want to share kind of what were the experiences and the reflections of the people from Syersville of the Dayton Group, so that we can capture those memories and those reflections as well.
That's 1 to 3, Ramey Park, this Saturday. More headlines in a moment. Right now, a very brief community calendar tonight that has only one announcement and one birthday wish. I'll bring you the announcement first, and we'll go to a break on the wish. The horse show is still taking place this Saturday under beautiful weather, you'll be glad to know, in honor and recognition of Child Abuse Prevention Month, in honor of children who have been abused and neglected. It's here in Skaggs at the Equestrian Park on Old 460. I see 26 classes. Gates open at 2:30. The horse show starts at 4 this Saturday. Just $5 to get in and watch. And if you have any questions, call Tammy Poe at 349-3122. Here's a birthday wish before more headlines. A happy 47th to Deborah Crace Music. Love mom, love dad, love family, love friends. Happy 47th. Deborah Crace Music today. Happy birthday to you. Between Frazier's Prater Drugstore, the Radio Shack, and the Seasonal Shop, all owned and operated by Tom and Pat Frazier of Sagersville, it's hard to say just how many thousands of dollars they have lost over the years to shoplifters. It's just a cold, hard fact, and a sad one at that businesses like theirs have to deal with it as often as they do, and they're certainly not alone. And while this is a story about shoplifting, it is unlike any other one that we have ran over the near 18 years that I have been here. It's also a story, I think, that goes at least a little, if not a long way, to prove that you can right a wrong, and there are still some good people out there, including those who may have made a mistake at one time.
I've been here for about 50 years, and I just about say that we've had a lot of stuff stolen out of here. Not nearly as much as we sold, but we've had too much stolen from here and the other store. And it just seems to be a common thing around here that people do that.
Over those years, some have been caught, prosecuted, some ordered by a judge to stand in front of the store with a sign admitting their crime. But it's what one and only one shoplifter sent Tom in this envelope that has made a difference.
Every day. We catch people just about every day. And we normally don't do anything to you, just tell you not to come back. You know, that's our punishment. Don't come back in the store if you get caught stealing. And now, ever who this is, a lady or a man, they're welcome to come right back.
And that's because of this anonymous letter that simply says, the sender wished to make amends.
The other day, to my surprise, I opened a letter addressed to me, no return address, and it had a little note in it that someone had stole something from the store and was going to pay for it, and had the money in the envelope. Well, that just shocked me to death, because that has never happened before, anything close to it. So it really makes you know that there's still good people in McGoffin County. I would probably pass out this Friday if a whole bunch of letters come in paying for something they stole. I don't know. But I just thought that was newsworthy for ever who it was to admit that they had stolen something. And their conscience had to be bothering them quite bad in order for them to do anything about it. But I was really pleased with it. Not the money, but just the fact that somebody did pay for it.
The letter simply stated, some time ago I took merchandise from your store without paying for it. The items were worth around $80. I'm enclosing $100 to cover the cost of these items. I am sorry that I did this, and I want to make it right. Thank you so much. No name, but maybe no name needed. The Hornets were looking to even up the score last night against the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. They dropped one 1-9 at Johnson Central night before last. They were hosting Central last night on the Diamond, where once again Central picked up 9 runs. Pick it up 3-1 in favor of the Golden Eagles, top of the fourth. McGoffin County's Jaron Lovely on the mound. 1 out, runners on second and third. Austin Davis puts one out into center field to Zach Salyer for the second out of the inning. And Central's Jacob Patton gets under 1, and so does Chase Hall. He makes the play and leaves 2 Eagle runs on base. Going to the bottom of the fourth, Salyer takes a walk. A base hit by Chance Allen loads up first and second. And a bunt off Kyle Howard's bat, and a bad toss to first by the Eagles lets Salyer score the second run for McGoffin County. Followed up by Morgan Howard. He hits a hopper, and Allen scores the tying run. And Austin Collins splits one right down the middle for the go-ahead run. Hornets up 4-3. Central finally shuts it down. Braxton Kelly brings some speed and leaves the bases full on the Hornets. But those runs will be the last runs for the Hornets, and the Eagles will pick up another 5, 9-4, your final score. Johnson Central 18-5 on the season, and they are undefeated regional and district-wise. And the boys are also hosting South Charleston, and that game is set for tomorrow at home, obviously, at 5:30. That's 4 wins in a row for the boys. For the girls, they picked up their 3rd win in a row on Tuesday night against McGoffin County. That was here at home for the Hornets, but a loss for them. 3-1 final score. The Lady Eagles 14-7, 5-0, and 1-0 in district play. McGoffin County is, well, we'll get to that in just a second. The Lady Eagles right now sitting third in 15th Region Girls Fast Pitch Softball. As for the boys, we've covered the loss from last night. The season standings put them at 6-8 on the season, and they've got one district win with 3 district losses. They are on the road. They're traveling to, well, I'm not quite sure where they're traveling to. They are taking on Fairview, says their schedule and calendar this Saturday set for 3. Location is not included on my schedule. As for the Lady Hornets, who, like everyone else, are pretty much at or very near the halfway point of the season. Can you believe that? They had 2 wins in a row, but a loss to Central, as we just covered, 1-3. I can tell you that puts the Lady Hornets at 17-2, and they are in first place right now in 15th Region Fast Pitch Girls Softball standings, 1-1 in district play, 9-1 in the region. They are hosting Belfry. That is a home game tonight. First pitch set for 6 o'clock. Turning to Coach Jared K. Hammonds and the Morgan County Cougars, they shut out Fairview in 6 innings, 10-0. They've got 3 wins on the season, so that was a big win for them, and 10 losses, 2-7, 0-1 in regional district play. They're also on the road at Powell County tonight at 5:30. And they've had one shutout after another, literally. I think I see 9, maybe 10 mercies for the Lady Cougars. The most recent 20-0 against Menifee County on Tuesday night. They are hosting Oneida Baptist Institute tonight. First pitch set for 7. And that's not a misprint. 17-14, your final score. Tigers versus Sheldon Clark last night. That was an away game for the Tigers. They're at home tomorrow night hosting Letcher Central at 6 o'clock. They're 7-11. And the Lady Tigers dropped one to Lawrence County, 2-11, your final score. They're just behind the halfway mark on the season at 7-8. They're playing in the 3rd annual Wizard of Oz Classic, and that is tonight. First pitch set for 6. Of it, and perhaps more than what we're actually going to see, but showers encroaching on the eastern Kentucky area, taking a long time to get here. This entire system has just been moving very slow as it's made its trek across other states, making its way into our territory, but we do have a chance, as you can see, of some isolated showers. It has before 7. We're not going to see them before 7, but the chances will increase, and we'll see some light showers over the course of your overnight. Not a big rainmaker, but we've got a better chance of them on into your forecast and for the rest of your week. And there's only very little left of the week. So those isolated showers this evening, prelude of more to come. Cloudy skies tomorrow on your Friday, a chance of some showers and thunderstorms to the tune of about 70% tomorrow. By tomorrow night, those chances will decrease and diminish down to about 30%. We'll see them wane. It's going to be a hit and miss, not going to be a washout, but we will see some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms embedded therein. It will all be out of here in time for your weekend, the first half of which 70, mostly sunny and mostly clear with a low of 44 on your Saturday, just about picture perfect in my book. And warmer, but still sunny and clear on your Sunday, pushing 80. We will see the 80s, I think, on Monday with more sunshine, but also we'll see that returned threat of some showers and thunderstorms. Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. There'll be some sun in there and some 80-degree days, but we'll have a continued threat of some showers and storms. That's a wrap for tonight. Already on tap for tomorrow as we wrap up this week. The McGoffin County Fiscal Court met earlier this afternoon. The McGoffin County Board of Education is meeting tonight at 7, and I'm sure some other headlines that I can almost guarantee that you will only find if you join us for the last edition this week of Your News Today. Good night, and thanks for watching.